Okay.
We'll call the regular meeting back to order, and no decisions were made, and you have an individual who has...
I have a deputy who's resigned, and I accepted his resignation. He'll be 2 more weeks, and then he'll be leaving. So.
Okay.
So, the next issue was when I came in, when we normally would be bidding and purchasing a vehicle this spring, we were kind of worried about where we sat with sales tax receipts, money coming in, and I said I'd table that issue and I'd step back until October. Well, it's almost October, and I kind of want to revisit that issue. I have different avenues which we could pursue. Some of them I don't like, but I like to stay ahead on the fleet so we don't get behind. I'm kind of waiting for some information to be caught up on so that we can have a really accurate picture where we're sitting as far as the sheriff's office and budget wise, and so that I know whether or not we have it within our budget still. If I don't, the other option is I do have enough money in equipment reserve, or I did last year when we did the thing and I bought a vehicle, to purchase 2 vehicles. I like to leave enough money for 1 vehicle in there as a cushion in case we wreck one, total one, have some kind of blow an engine, do something. We have the ability to purchase a vehicle in an emergency circumstance anytime. I also have our drug fund. So I guess what I'm trying to get to is I have 3 avenues that I could purchase a vehicle with. And I'd like to go start getting bids on a vehicle. And I'm not making a decision to buy a vehicle right now, but I'd like to get bids and come back to the mid-October meeting with those bids and approach you guys. And by then, I should have an answer on budget, drug fund, or equipment reserve. I'm going to take those out of it if you guys are supportive on that. And then I want to turn around and do, again, like normal after the first year so we don't get behind. So we'll be purchasing 2 vehicles seemingly back-to-back, but will be split by the budget year between the 2.
Because you didn't buy...
Because I didn't buy one last spring like we normally do. To try to make sure that, trying to be a team player, we were all scared of COVID, didn't know if we were going to get any sales tax money, if we were going to get any money at all coming in, what this was going to cost us. I thought it was the best idea just to wait and hold that money in reserve.
Is your fleet holding up, though? I mean, all the vehicles?
It's holding up. We got several that are getting high mileage. We've had to do little maintenance to them. Tires seems like the big thing, which you're not going to avoid by buying new vehicles because tires just wear out. But the front end of one of the Explorers is, it's not horrible, but you figure, we go 140 mile an hour in it compared to going 65 mile an hour down the highway. It's a different story. That one Explorer is the one that I want to get rid of next. And it's just because I foresee it causing us troubles by the mileage, the history, and there's a reason we got those so cheap, those Police Edition Explorers, and what was that, 2014 or 15? I can't remember what year that was. We got them dirt cheap. We could buy 2 of them for what the cost of one was. We got a good deal on. They were cheaply made for the Illinois State Patrol, and they were excess from that. And that's
they're fleet cars.
They're fleet cars, and they're very cheaply set up. If you look, you take the spare tire out, you can see the frame and everything. They're not the Explorers that are sitting up on the lot. They're very cheaply made cars. And
most people don't know that fleet cars are a whole different story.
Yeah. So, and it's wearing out, and I'm sure the other one is going to be right behind it. And I'm going to say this again and again. I don't like Chargers, and we have one in our fleet, and I just don't like them.
What else is available?
What's that?
You're looking for an SUV type?
SUV. The reason I don't like Chargers is just because of winter storms, and we respond on country roads, and they're just not. They're an excellent law enforcement vehicle if you're staying on
dry pavement.
Pretty day. Yeah, and we're not, and that's just not the nature of our work. You send a deputy out because there's cows all over a road, or we'll use the fire example last November. Some of the places they had to go, you can't use a Charger that way. I'm not saying that's the one we'll get rid of for the second term. I'm currently doing an evaluation of all of our vehicles, mileage, asking the deputies, what's all the nuisance stuff that you've been keeping quiet about because you don't want to seem whiny about. Let me know everything that's wrong with this vehicle, and going through them and kind of looking. But the one Explorer is the one that needs to go next, because it's with that front end. It's been worked on several times. It's just a weakness in that vehicle, and it's time for it to go.
And these country roads aren't very good on them anyway.
No, and they have a heavier, and that's what I'm looking at when I'm going to bid on. They have a heavier version of the Explorer that I think, from what I've heard and talked to other agencies, is holding up well for them. And they're going to be slightly cheaper than a pickup. I still like keeping pickups in the fleet, but the next vehicle, I'm going to replace the Explorer with Explorer, but I'm going to get the heavier duty version of the Explorer instead of this cheap fleet version.
Well, why is a pickup better than an Explorer?
A lot of it comes down to personal opinion, Willie, of mine, but you carry more stuff. It's more rugged. Like I said, it seems like we go off-road a lot, whether we're helping the fire department, helping EMS. We had that wreck 2 weeks ago, and this is a pretty common thing. You've been there, where we had to transport the guy out of the down to where he was at with the sheriff pickup, because the ambulance couldn't get down there, and that happens several times a year. You know, things like that. The pickup's just more utilitarian, and that's what we are. You know, we're not a fancy drive down the highway and look good law enforcement agency. We're utilitarian. We're going to go out and help the fire department when the whole county's on fire and drive through and spot things. We're going to be down in the ditch helping the EMS get out of there. We're going to be rescuing people during a blizzard. We're going to be doing things like that. We have to get out there when it's muddy, you know. And the problem with Explorers, they are all-wheel drive, and I don't mind having a couple of them in the fleet. They're really good, especially if you're taking a long transport and stuff. But when it snows, they get high-centered. They get high-centered on the muddy roads if it gets extremely muddy, you know, things like that. They're okay to have a couple in the fleet, but I still like to have the majority of my vehicles be four-wheel drive pickups. For the same reason most everybody else in the community drives a four-wheel drive pickup, or has one. So.
Well, I think it's appropriate to go ahead and start looking at bids and see what you can find. And
Okay. All right, that's all I had for you gentlemen. Don't have anything for me.
I don't know what it'd be, Cody.
Okay.
Lunch, maybe.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Good morning, Kelly, Roxy.
Good morning.
You're welcome to come up or stay your distance, however you want to do it.
I'm just trying to keep my kid in school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I understand.
Of course, this isn't going to take too long. You probably can guess what we come up here to do.
We
Wanted
appreciate
to
it.
know if you're going to.
We love comparisons. I mean, we do.
So, Daddy, yes already? I haven't even asked the
I
question.
don't know about that, Kelly, but we'll love to look at your stuff.
Well, yeah. We'd like to give a bid again, and to give a bid, you have to give K-Camp, K-Work 60 days written notice, or you can't get out. So you have to let them know by October 30th that this is going out for bid.
Do we have any solid ties to them? I mean, as far as, we can rebid this annually, correct?
Right.
We had a 3-year contract.
You had a 3-year contract.
And that's
So
up
now
this
that's
year.
up. I think competition's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think you'll lose on it. It's a lot of work. Somebody's going to get it and somebody's not. But we've had it for a lot of years and they've had it for a few years now. So
Yeah, because now we've had a big enough bite to make some real comparisons.
we can. So we're up here asking permission to do it because we have to get hold of Scott and get a lot of information from him. And,
Well, I think, like you say, competition's good.
yeah.
I wouldn't hurt anything for darn sure, Roger.
No.
I'm fine.
What you guys will have to do is decide when you want bids by. In other words, if you want them by the end of November, so you have the November meeting and maybe the middle of December meeting, you don't want them at the end of December.
No, we have enough
Your
to do.
decision needs to be made by the end of
We'll have
November.
enough to do at that meeting.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe the end of November.
That would be most likely. A lot of companies don't want to go out more than 60 days, so.
Yeah, because a
November
lot
would
can
be
change
good.
after that. You guys?
And I've been talking to my underwriter, and she said, like, they've been aggressive on the bidding process and they're really, I guess their appetite is the smaller counties,
Sure.
and they've had good luck with them, so, I mean, it's worth a try. bring it
Well, like I
back
say-
level if possible.
Yeah, we've been with them long enough now to make some real comparisons and,
Right.
so yeah.
So in the back, I know it's in the K-Work one, it's Article 12. That says you have to give them 60 days written notice. In the K-Camp membership, I don't have a copy of that, so I don't know which article it is. But you have to give both of them written notice because they're two separate entities.
Right.
So that's about it. So just give them a jingle and find out what you have to tell them, and
Just double checking here, we're all okay with that?
Yeah,
Go down
I'm
here.
fine with that.
I
so
think
we'll
it's good.
start working on it, and
So this written notice needs to go out by,
End of October.
end of October.
okay,
Yeah, so you might give them a jingle and send it out in October sometime, one of the two meetings.
They've been asking for stuff, but I haven't given them anything yet, so.
Yeah, so what you end up giving them, we'll have to be getting from you too, so we're as close to apples as we can get, so. More used to looking at their information, so they'll send you out a worksheet you have to fill out, employees, payroll, vehicles, da-da-da-da-da-da, so keep a copy of it, because we'll have to use it too.
Okay, well, we'll be looking forward to it.
Okay, that's it. Appreciate it.
thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll be calling you, Scott.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay, any other business today,
I think so.
you guys?
No,
All right, let's get,
well, motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in favor?
I wanted a second.
You're asleep like always.
I was just thinking I wasn't.
All those in favor?
Aye.